Saw 7, the final chapter, and Jigsaw. Let's talk about them both. And then I will end the series probably with a video about Saw Spiral. And I gotta say, I've never seen the Jigsaw movie. I did see all the other Saw movies. I kind of ended after 7 because I wasn't into the franchise. 7 is just awful, makes absolutely no sense, and it honestly, it might be the worst of the franchise just because the twists are so ridiculous and the way they choose to cap this franchise out makes no sense and doesn't answer. It doesn't end the franchise in a way that feels satisfying as someone who's been watching these for 7 movies. But then again, this franchise wasn't made to be 7 movies and also wasn't made to satisfy you in any way because it's literally just dumb gore at this point. So that's all I really have to say about Saw 7. And that's why I'm doing this video with Jigsaw in the review. What I really like about Jigsaw, because I was actually shocked, I did kind of like this movie. It's not great, but I did kind of like it in the sense that this is a movie about Jigsaw once again, which I think it's dumb that he's back, but what else? What are you gonna do? You're just gonna have to do what you're gonna do. What is cool about it is that Jigsaw's killing on a grander scale in this movie. I mean, there's kills in broad daylight. A lot of the kills are very much in just small locations. Then that's part of the low budget aspect of it, but still they were able to bring the kills out to a grander scale. Like one of the first kills in this movie is in broad daylight, and that's kind of cool. And there's new people investigating it that I actually find interesting, and I kind of like their performance and their characters. It has an interesting moment from the start. The gore isn't as intense and ridiculously just disgusting as some of the other Saw movies, and that makes it really interesting. And there's not enough of and there's none of that shaky cam shitty filmmaking that I really hated in all the other Saw movies. So, this is kind of a reform and bringing Saw back after it had been away for a while because Saw 7 basically didn't bomb because it was so cheap to make that they could have theoretically kept going because they were making a pretty good profit. The issue was that Paranormal Activity started making more money than Saw, so they just kind of gave up on it. But this was like a comeback a few years later of all right, we're Lionsgate. We don't have any properties besides Hunger Games, which is shit and over. And then we have this Saw, and they still don't have any properties. They tried Hellboy, that failed, and they're rebooting Leprechaun. So that's where we're at with Lionsgate. They really don't have any properties besides Saw, and they tried rebooting Saw again, and we'll get to that in a different video. But yeah, so I think overall this is a pretty good movie for reinventing the Saw franchise and bringing back old killers. The traps are cool. It's interesting. It's not. It's still just dumb gore, but I think this is way more enjoyable than any of the other ones, and it's one of the shortest movies in the Saw franchise too, which I find really great because I don't know. I was very surprised by Jigsaw because Jigsaw seems the one that a lot of the fans hate the most to me, but I think this is actually great for what kind of movie this is compared to all the other ones. Like I would rank it Saw 1, Saw 2, Saw 3, and then Jigsaw, and then 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then I guess Spiral would be right next to Jigsaw because I kind of feel like the same about them. Though who knows? Maybe that opinion will change and rewatch. But yeah, I did not hate Jigsaw. Surprisingly, I actually kind of enjoyed it.